In this episode of the Modern Wisdom Podcast, host Chris Williamson interviews comedian Jimmy Carr. The conversation covers a wide range of topics, including personal growth, ambition, agency, the power of comedy, and the challenges of the self. Carr begins by discussing the importance of finding what comes easy to you and pursuing it as a career. He believes that if you find something that you enjoy and find easy, you should go for it because there will be success and fulfillment in that field. He also emphasizes the value of stage time and the importance of putting in the work to improve and refine your skills. The conversation then shifts to the concept of, what do you want? Carr explains that this question is crucial in both the micro and macro aspects of life. He believes that understanding what you truly want and why you want it is essential for finding fulfillment and success. He also discusses the idea of choosing the right status game to play and being honest about your desires and motivations. Carr and Williamson delve into the difference between jealousy and envy. Carr explains that envy can be a positive emotion because it reveals what you truly want. Jealousy, on the other hand, is a negative emotion that stems from resentment and bitterness. He emphasizes the importance of self-awareness and understanding the root of your desires. The conversation then turns to the power of comedy and its role in society. Carr believes that comedians are often ahead of the curve on social issues and that comedy has the ability to push the boundaries of what is acceptable. He discusses the importance of perspective and questioning the status quo, as well as the role of comedy in creating connections and a sense of community. Carr and Williamson also touch on the challenges of the self and the rise of individualism. They discuss the impact of the internet and anonymity on cynicism and skepticism. Carr suggests that requiring people to upload a photo of their ID to have a social media account could help combat the negative aspects of online communication. He also emphasizes the importance of gratitude and focusing on what you have rather than what you lack. The conversation continues with a discussion on the future and the potential for positive change. Carr expresses optimism about the ability of science and technology to solve global problems, such as the environmental crisis. He also highlights the importance of prioritizing and focusing on the areas where real change can be made. Carr also discusses the two great myths in society, hard work and talent. He believes that success is a combination of both and that finding the right medium and edge for oneself is crucial. He gives examples of successful individuals like Bill Gates and Michael Jordan, emphasizing that their achievements are a result of both talent and hard work. The conversation then shifts to the concept of luck and how everyone is incredibly lucky just to be alive. Carr expresses his belief in accepting and embracing what one has in life, rather than constantly striving for more. He also highlights the importance of nurturing oneself and the role of environment in personal growth and development. The discussion delves into the idea of observable and hidden metrics and how they influence motivation. Carr and the host talk about how people often prioritize observable metrics, such as money and social media followers, over hidden metrics like peace of mind and emotional well-being. They discuss the need to focus on what truly matters in life and not get caught up in external measures of success. The conversation then touches on the topic of free will and determinism. Carr mentions the idea that perhaps everything is predetermined and that free will may not exist. However, he believes that it is more empowering to live as if free will does exist and to take responsibility for one's actions and choices. Carr also shares his thoughts on the importance of disposition and how it can have a significant impact on one's happiness and well-being. He emphasizes the value of gratitude and the need to cultivate a positive mindset. He also discusses the challenges he faced as a child and how those experiences shaped his outlook on life. The discussion then explores the concept of symbolically true but literally false ideas. Carr gives examples of beliefs that may not be factually accurate but are adaptive and useful, such as the belief that porcupines can throw their quills. He also discusses the opposite scenario of something that may be factually true but not beneficial or adaptive. The conversation touches on the topic of anxiety and how it can be both a hindrance and a source of creativity. Carr shares his perspective on the role of anxiety in his life and how he has learned to embrace it and find the positive aspects within it. The discussion then turns to the idea of cancellation and how it affects individuals in the public eye. Carr shares his views on cancellation, stating that he sees it as free publicity rather than a detrimental experience. He believes that the term cancellation is often overused and that the consequences are not as severe as they may seem. Carr also discusses the importance of character versus reputation and how one's true character should be the guiding force in life, regardless of public opinion or reputation. He emphasizes the need to know oneself and stay true to one's values and beliefs. The conversation continues with Carr discussing his plans to write a comedy course or book, aiming to teach the principles and techniques of comedy. He believes that comedy can be taught and that there is a need for a more structured approach to understanding and learning the art of comedy. Carr then discusses fame and its effects on individuals. He describes fame as living in a tribe where everyone knows you, but you don't know anyone. He explains that fame can make the world a friendly place, as people approach you with positive interactions. However, he also acknowledges that fame can lead to negative interactions, but those are usually avoided as people who don't like you tend to ignore you. The conversation then shifts to the difference between charm and charisma. Carr explains that charm is when someone makes you think they would like you, while charisma is when you are drawn to someone and come to them. He believes that knowing whether you possess charm or charisma is valuable in understanding how others perceive you. Carr also discusses the concept of wisdom and how it is understood differently at different stages of life. He mentions that wisdom resonates differently with individuals at different times, and it is important to be open to learning and growing throughout life. He also talks about the importance of self-awareness and understanding how others perceive you. The conversation then delves into the concept of kindness. Carr believes that kindness is a way of living that benefits both oneself and others. He emphasizes the importance of being kind to oneself and delaying instant gratification for long-term benefits. He also discusses the value of kindness in relationships and how it can positively impact one's life. Carr shares an interesting story about the history of pineapples and how they were once considered a symbol of wealth and status. He relates this to the idea that material possessions and external achievements do not bring long-lasting fulfillment. He encourages listeners to focus on what truly fulfills them emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually, rather than chasing external validation. The conversation continues with a discussion on the value of difficulty and the misconception that difficult things are always valuable. Carr mentions that difficulty does not necessarily equate to value and that it is important to differentiate between what is truly valuable and what is simply difficult to attain. He encourages listeners to seek fulfillment in things that align with their values and bring them joy. The discussion continues with Carr sharing an interesting insight about Walt Disney's creative process, which involved having separate rooms for generating ideas, managing those ideas, and receiving criticism. Carr suggests that individuals should adopt a similar approach to their inner critic, allowing creativity to flow freely before inviting criticism and feedback. The conversation then delves into the concept of the inner critic and the fear of failure. Carr explains that in comedy, the audience serves as the ultimate critic, and their reactions determine the success or failure of a joke. This constant exposure to criticism helps comedians develop a healthier relationship with failure and learn to let go of unsuccessful jokes. The discussion then shifts to the topic of censorship in comedy. Carr argues that self-censorship is a significant problem in the industry, as comedians often hold back from saying risky or controversial things due to fear of backlash or being taken out of context. He emphasizes the importance of nuance in comedy and the role of the audience in understanding the intent behind jokes. The conversation takes a turn towards existential risks and the future of humanity. Carr expresses his optimism about the potential for positive change and innovation, citing historical examples such as the transition from horse-drawn carriages to automobiles and the decline of the whaling industry. He also discusses the potential risks posed by artificial intelligence and the need for responsible development and regulation. The discussion then touches on the joys and challenges of parenthood. Carr reflects on his decision to have children and the transformative effect it has had on his life. He describes the shift from living life on easy mode without children to embracing the higher stakes and deeper sense of purpose that comes with being a parent. Carr also explores the concept of flow state and the importance of finding activities that allow individuals to be fully present and engaged. He shares examples from his own life, such as playing tennis and performing comedy, where he experiences a sense of flow and loses track of time. The conversation continues with a discussion about the pressure to constantly be productive and the need for leisure activities that are truly enjoyable and low stakes. Carr emphasizes the importance of finding hobbies and activities that bring joy and relaxation without the pressure of achieving specific outcomes. Carr continues by discussing the relationship between comedy and happiness. He explains that comedy is often born out of pain and suffering, as comedians use humor as a coping mechanism. He believes that comedy can bring happiness to both the performer and the audience, as it allows people to find joy in difficult situations. As a successful comedian, Carr has faced his fair share of criticism. He shares his perspective on handling criticism, emphasizing the importance of not taking it personally. Carr believes that criticism is often a reflection of the critic's own insecurities and advises not to let it affect one's self-worth. He highlights the significance of perspective in shaping one's outlook on life. He suggests that changing the way we perceive situations can lead to a more positive and fulfilling life. Carr shares personal anecdotes where he has consciously altered his perspective to find humor and happiness in challenging circumstances. The conversation then shifts to the challenges of balancing work and personal life. Carr emphasizes the importance of setting boundaries and making time for oneself. He believes that finding a balance between work and personal life is crucial for maintaining mental well-being and overall happiness. Carr then delves into the topic of failure and its role in personal growth. He shares his own experiences of failure and how it has shaped his career. Carr believes that failure is an essential part of success, as it provides valuable lessons and opportunities for improvement. He encourages embracing failure as a stepping stone towards achieving one's goals. He also emphasizes the importance of authenticity and vulnerability in comedy and life. He believes that being true to oneself and embracing vulnerability allows for deeper connections with others. He shares how he incorporates his own vulnerabilities into his comedy, creating a relatable and genuine experience for his audience. The discussion then touches on society's obsession with happiness and the pressure to constantly strive for it. Carr challenges the notion that happiness is a constant state, suggesting that it is more realistic to aim for contentment and fulfillment instead. He believes that pursuing one's passions and finding purpose in life are key to achieving a sense of fulfillment. He also mentions that continuous learning and challenging oneself are essential for personal development. Carr encourages listeners to step out of their comfort zones and embrace new experiences as a means of growth and self-discovery. Throughout the conversation, Carr emphasizes the power of laughter in bringing joy and happiness to people's lives. He discusses the physiological and psychological benefits of laughter, highlighting its ability to relieve stress and improve overall well-being. Carr encourages individuals to seek out laughter and humor in their daily lives. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe.